I'm already going to put this down for a second. Yeah, I got somebody here. All right, hopefully that mic's working now. Sweet. Well, hello. Welcome to this. What day is it today? Saturday? Yeah, Saturday night. Who we got here? One moment. I gotta go grab my 4x4. Be over here right now. Move that. All right, let's move some of this crap. Finally got some sharpening stones in. I'm going to be using those tomorrow and sharpening some chisels and things. Try to learn something from Mike. Is Mike picking up? I guess it is. Gotta find the best spot for this thing. Maybe there? Maybe that works better? I don't know. Just let me know. One moment. Gotta run out to the truck. Oh my god. Oh. Trim off the bottom of this. Hey, that worked. Sweet. Ow. I'm going to trim off the bottom no matter what. So I'll just put that over there. And I don't have power running to that. Why would I? I don't know what the last thing was I used. What do I have in here right now? Or is it just me? Somehow twice. I heard the saw is not too loud over the mic, so I'm just going to leave the mic on while I cut this. Man, I'm tired. It's been a long day. Hearing protection, eye protection, why not? Some of this crap. Don't need a pencil at the moment. I'm going to need to laser some stuff. All right, let's get to cutting. Roll that back a little bit. Cut just the end off there. Yep. I like to trim the end off where they stapled something on there. Usually the end is a little rough anyway. And I got a pretty good little cookie there. All right, I need 10 Kubbs. Oh, that's going to be an issue. Have an issue there. If you do say anything in chat and I don't respond, it's because I'm cutting. I can't see anything at the moment. I'll check the screen in a moment. Hey, adjusting the height on my roller really helps me not get a kickback. That's awesome. Oh, but this is at a weird angle. This winter, I'm going to build myself a table for this. Wait till I have a couple of these before I move them. If you can slide your your stock back before lifting the blade, that helps prevent stuff from kicking around. Excuse me. Then I don't roll it back like I just talked about. Okay, 5 Kubbs, 10 Kubbs. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So sweet. Now a king Kubb. Oh, king goes all the way out of here. Okay. Oh, that one. That one wanted to grab. Why? Why is that? Oh, let's cut it again. Put that here. So I could actually get another 1, 2, 3, either 3 more Kubbs or 2 and a king out of what's remaining. So it's less than 1 8-foot 4x4 to do this project. If something anybody wants to batch out at some point. I have sold, actually I'll bring it up here in a minute and tell you exactly how many of these I've sold. It's been crazy. Once I get the next thing going, I think it's going to be even crazier. All right, let me grab my pencil, my square. God, I need a vacuum. Bad. Pencil. Square. See if I can zoom a little bit here. I think that should work. Okay. So since making the original video, I've learned something. I've learned how to really batch these out. So I want to go from a corner down. It really doesn't matter where. A little bit further than half because I'm going to be sanding this anyway, but same on the other side. So now we get a midpoint. Draw that midpoint. And then from that midpoint over at a 45. And then really don't have to do the other side, but I do it anyway, just for consistency. And flip and do it again. Line. And this is just, well, I mean, I kind of need this for cutting the tops, the way I've decided to make these tops. Helps me get all my lines where they're supposed to be. And I'll show you here in a moment what I'm talking about. Finish drawing these lines here. Hey, if there is someone else here, say hello. I'd like to know who's here. Is it Keith? That's who's usually here. I'm going to paint that pumpkin too tonight. I want to get that done. I hate doing this little bit. It's hard to get this to stay square. Such a small bit. But I make it work. Cool. We got all 4 sides done up. All right, now to set that. Now there's nobody's here. Okay. Well, that gives me time. Grab another one. trash. I'll take that nasty ass trash out. I still have the mic on. That for a moment. microphone. Still on. There we go, it's green. Weird. Maybe it turned itself off. I don't know. It doesn't hear anything. Nope, I'm gonna have to charge this. Alright, well, I'll do that then. Okay. PPE back on. Ooh, actually, before I do that, I need my other. Seven. I got 7 out of a 6-footer. Okay, that's good. Save this tomorrow. Do it tonight. Alright. Let's go ahead and set this bevel. 45 degrees. Alright. Oh, I need my backer. She's over course. And do I have my clamp? I do not. Do I have my clamp? Makes too much sense. That's where that has to be. Clamp. Hey. Welcome to whoever who is on here now. Got another viewer besides myself. Go ahead and say hello. Let me know who's here. Set this up. Alright, should be in the way. Cool. Hey, Keith. The trip was great. We just got back, about 2 hours ago. My son, who's got his learner's permit, did half the driving back. It was a little scary at some points, especially driving through the mountains. But it went well. It was a good trip. A bit sad saying goodbye to my oldest daughter. She's on her own now at college, but she'll be fine. She's got her shit together. I have no doubt she's going to be very successful, and she's going to figure it all out. Yep, definitely got her all settled in, and yeah, it is what it is. It's one of those things that parents go through, or some parents go through. Not all parents, but some parents go through. I guess most parents, if not all, at some point, say goodbye to their children while they go off and live their own life. A little bittersweet, but it's good. And while I was out there in Ohio, I had meant to put my shop in vacation mode. I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I ended up getting an order in for a Kubb set. So that's what I'm doing tonight, trying to get it out on Monday. The customer wants just Yakasugi for the finish, so I can actually do that tonight. Well, I'll do it tomorrow. But I love that finish because it's just the torch, so I don't have to worry about waiting time to get it dried or anything. I'll use spray, not shellac, but shoot, what's the word I'm looking for? Spar urethane. There we go. Spar urethane. So I'll have that dry tomorrow, and I'll be able to get the order out on Monday, along with some other stuff. I've got a giveaway. I've got a couple other things. So anyway, I'm doing this Kubb set. No, that's good. Okay. So I don't know if you watched my video on making a Kubb set. I had set a depth stop at one point to do these 45s. Now I just eyeball it, and the quality is the same. The real trick is not pushing down on the blade as I cut that 45. I mean, a depth stop is the right way to do it, but I've gotten to the point now where I feel comfortable doing what I'm doing, and I've got all my lines marked, so I know exactly how deep to go. real trick is ensuring that, because I know that the blade is going to go a little bit deeper as I push through. Now I went a little too deep there, but I ended up cleaning it up with a chisel and whatnot later most of the time. Although with this Yakasugi I can burn away most of what I need to. Kind of work it till I get to, like, work it in a little bit and down, in and down, until I get the lowest point of the blade to hit that mark. See, on the back side, it didn't quite line up, but it all works itself out in the end. Like, nothing's perfectly square. This is not fine woodworking. And one of these days, I will really square up my miter saw. That one was almost perfect. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. I had that one right there. That's a little extra deep cut. Fix that here. Just give it a little half a blade width. Extra cut. Bad. When I go ahead and sand that and hit it with a chisel, it'll be fine. My relief cut. One of these days I'm going to measure. I'm actually going to measure what the distance is. I usually wait until I get the rune engraved on here. I know it's 70 millimeters from the bottom of the rune, so then I go and measure to the top, and I think it's 210 millimeters. But I use the rune engraving, and then I measure to make sure that engraving is centered before I do the cut around the top. Wow, that's it. That's done. Sweet. I got all my cuts done in 25 minutes, roughly. Tell you what. If you're looking to make a few dollars next summer, because it's kind of, at this point in the season, it's gonna be a hard sell. Not really yard game season anymore. I'm surprised I even got this order in. I wasn't expecting it. But this and then Mulkey, the next one I'm gonna do, next video I'm gonna do. Holy crap, man! They've been a good seller. Move over here for a moment. Get it caught up on. Who else I got in here besides Keith? I got me. I got Keith. He's always on 2 screens. And I'll put the microphone back on in a minute. I'm just letting it charge. I thought it was going to be good to go for another live, but it wasn't. It died on me. Or at least it didn't have a green light on. So if there is someone else here, yeah, go ahead and say hello. I'd like to see who else is here. Well, here we go. 1 Kubb set. I got my 10 Kubbs. I got my King Kubb. And I'm going to have my daughter, my youngest daughter, she's going to sand these for me tomorrow. She told me, Dad, I want to get involved. I want to get paid. Because I paid my son to sand my last Kubb set. So anyway, she wanted something. I said, okay, well, you can sand this. And I'm even going to have her run the laser and teach her how to use the laser tomorrow. I'm going to fix my table with glue. Next is to paint this pumpkin. Actually, I'm going to drill a hole in it first. Then I'm going to paint it. I think that's the right order of operations. Oh, I wanted to check these too. While I was here. Yeah, so I added, I'll talk about the pumpkin in a minute. I want to check the square here. Let's see here. Actually, not too shabby. It's off by like 1/10 of a degree. In this direction, it's perfectly square. Here it should be off. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's just a hair off. Okay, cool. I'm happy with that. Let me move all these pieces over. And I'll talk about the pumpkin, which is my next part. I'm going to do a live tomorrow. I'm going to schedule it after I finish this one. Probably tomorrow afternoon. I got some stuff to do. I got yard work to do. I got other things I got to do around the house. One moment. Back that up for a second. Boom, there we go. Put myself in frame, cool. Yeah, so the pumpkin. So I decided to burn it. Actually, what I might do tonight is go ahead and put the stem in there. This piece I'm going to use. I don't know if I want to do it at an angle. It's going to be a pain in the butt to drill that at an angle. So I might just keep it vertical for now. I'm going to be picking up a drill press next week off of somebody. I think it's an old Craftsman for like $40. I'm finally going to have a drill press again. But anyway, getting the angle in there will be a little bit easier with a drill press, I think. But I might put that in there, take a couple pictures of it, burnt. But I want to do the burnt before I paint it. Because even when you spray paint wood like this, the grain comes through it. I really want the wood grain to come through. So that's why I burnt it first. But I kind of like the burnt look too. I'll just make that an option for a customer. These stupid stickers. I hate these things. Can I get one off clean? Holy crap. Look at that. It actually came off clean. Amazing. A little glue residue on there. That never happens. Usually the stupid stickers rip. Either way, I'm going to sand that. I'm going to have my daughter do that too. But I'll do that. I'll take a shot, take a picture of it. I'm going to paint it tonight, and then tomorrow I think I'm going to put a face on there. Make that an option as well. Also have it as a blank. So before I do that, I'll do some craft paper. So this craft paper right here, I think my wife got it off of Amazon. It was a slightly better deal than at Lowe's, but just the like painter's covering or whatever. This stuff is great for putting down and protect the surface. If you're like me and you use a table saw as a work surface, which a lot of us do. Hello, daughter. I'll be in 2 minutes. Speaking of my youngest, I gotta go tuck her in, put her to bed, so I'll be back in just a minute. But anyway, it works great as obviously a sacrificial work surface for painting and things like that, glue ups, whatever. It's also really good as packaging material. It's super cheap, so rip off some pieces of that, crumple it up, throw it in when you're shipping an order. So I will be right back. I can't really pause this, but I'll be right back. Weird. All right, I'm back. All right, let's see what happens here. Microphone says it's working. So, orange is the right color for a pumpkin. I think I have some. I hope I have some. Do I not have orange? Nope, I have orange. Cool. At one point, I got it somewhere. I just don't know where I put it. Like many things around here. I had some orange stain I got for doing doing the pumpkins. that people are doing with fence pickets, like the pumpkin boxes. I bought a quart of orange stain at Lowe's. I think actually I got it in the cheap bin, like someone had already purchased it or whatever, returned it. So I got it for like $5. No idea what I did with it. It's around here somewhere, like many, many other things. So let's see what this looks like. That end grain really likes to suck that stuff in. Probably should be wearing gloves, but I'm not, because why would I? This actually turns pretty good. I'm liking that. I'm liking that with the burnt bit on there. Let me see if I can zoom in real quick. Paint and wipe with the burn, yeah. But even without wiping it, I mean, let's take a look here. Like the end grain really, really soaks that in. But even the face grain, like it's kind of cool. It's a little bit of a rustic look, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. With a few more coats, I could probably get that a more solid. But I wanted that wood grain to come through. Oh shoot! I forgot to drill a hole for that. God dang it! Oh well, here's what it is. Do I even have the right size bit for that? Let me find that. I guess I'll be doing that tomorrow because I don't think it's going to dry tonight. Not a decent amount of time anyway. Oop, I do have the right bit. Kind of. It'll be a really tight fit, but I like that. This is what size is 1 1/4. Should have a 1 5/8 somewhere. Might be in my other set. Where's my broken set? Where did I put that? Ooh, actually, before I get too crazy with that, I want to clean the tip of this. What do I have? Oh, I don't. I'm going through here. 91% should work. So I got some 91% isopropyl. Should, in theory, clean that up. Q-tip on there should work. If you ever get a laser, CO2 laser specifically, investing in some 99% isopropyl is going to be a lot of help to you. Because that's what you need to clean the lenses with. call it 100%, but it's not truly 100%. Got a little bit of water in it. And then cheap Q-tips from, dollar store or whatever. I keep a box of those around. They work really, really well for cleaning the lens without scratching it. Doing just a little bit of maintenance to these spray cans helps. Helps make them last a little bit longer. Now I could hit that paint with a heat gun, but I just don't know if I want to do that. I think it'll be fine. Cool. I have a free and clear nozzle again. A couple Q-tips, a little bit of isopropyl. Good to go. I tell you to turn it upside down and spray it. But even when I've done that, it hasn't worked. I found cleaning that tip immediately after using it works the best. Now, let me put that away. Now I have to spray the underside of it. I can do that tomorrow. Although, actually, I got it pretty good by accident. And that's all the projects I've got right now. I do have. Oh, I do need to cut a piece of fence picket, which means I need to move this. In order to move this, I need to handle it. I don't have any more gloves. I don't know I know what I did with my box of gloves. I sacrificed them for band projects. So paper towel, that'll work. One moment, please. And I will set this down over here, off to the side. Just as good as a set of gloves. As a paper towel. All right. Get rid of this. I'm going to use the table saw. Oh, it's going to be some great Foley sound there. I've got shit going everywhere. I need to sand that. I need to sand that. God dang it. And I've got spray paint on the edge. It'll be fine for tonight. What did I do with my extra piece? I know I still have some of this fence picket left over. I'm like 95% sure. Maybe I don't. What do I have over here? Nope, that's not fence picket. Son of a gun. Well, I guess I'm using that other piece of fence picket. Okay. Let's move this. Hold on. I'll move this crap out of the way in a minute. just moving some stuff around. I only have so much usable space. Okay, that'll work. And then fence picket. I know I have some left over. I just don't know what the heck I did with it. Maybe I don't. It's driving me crazy. Okay, whatever. This guy here, need to mark off the, okay, we'll get that out. In theory, if I cut that there, that should fit. In theory. Let's see if theory to practice. I have fence picket up there. I just hate cutting off a little bit of fence picket when I know I have the scrap available. But if I need to, I'll cut that. Oh, what do I have up here? God, I've got so much scrap everywhere. Got a piece here that looks promising. Yeah, I do. From another project. All right, let me trim that off real quick. Yeah, I don't want to use brand new fence picket for this. So I could measure this, but why when I make a mark? And I want to save the line. Okay. In theory, this should fit. Oh yeah, nice and tight. Beautiful. Exactly what I wanted. Get that knocked down. Mark a line on the back of it. So now I know where I need to rip it. There we go. Again, don't have to take a measurement. I just know where I need to rip it. That's how I do a lot of my work, is marking it. Oh, what'd you say there, Keith? So we think we might have a name for our. Oh, sweet. What's your YouTube channel name? And definitely, whenever you get that channel up and running, let me know, and I will be the first to subscribe. Okay. Oh, I put it way over there. Need the power. I'm not going to cut my gripper. Oh, I can't read from here. I'll go check that out. Hold on a second. Two dudes. Ooh, I like that. Two dudes. DEWDS. I like that. Two dudes DIY. So it's what, you and your son, I believe? I can use that for later. Wow, got a little orange paint on there. All right. Sweet. That will sit right there in front. I just gotta engrave that with what the customer wanted. Ooh, I was gonna trim that back too. Yeah, I'll leave it. Son-in-law. Okay, son-in-law. Yep. I knew it was your son or your son-in-law. I actually do remember stuff sometimes. Awesome, man. Yeah, let me know. And I will. I mean, I've only got 60 some odd subscribers, but I will do what I can to help you out and push your channel whenever you get it going. Much like a lot of other people, like Mike and Dan from Bearded Viking, and some other channels that I follow, all about just helping out the community, getting other subscribers. Even if all we're doing is watching each other's stuff, it helps everybody out. And once you get to that 50 mark, it's awesome. You can do live. That's the best part. Better than making videos is doing a live. I love doing it, even if it's just me and you, which most of the time it is. I absolutely love it over shooting a video and then having to edit it, and just takes so much time to do all that work. But both are fun in their respective ways. Cool. Now that I have that piece on there, I can take some measurements. I can design the file for that. So that's what I'm going to do next. Hold on just a second here. All right, what I was saying was grabbing one of these cheap lavalier mics makes a huge difference. Okay, there we go. That's picking me up again. Although this one, I thought I had it charged up. The first time I charged it, the first time I used it, it lasted for like 4 or 5 hours. Now it doesn't want to last very long. But anyway, shoot, it's a cheap mic. I'm sure there's better mics out there. The nipple mics that Bearded Viking uses, that's what I'd like to get. But anyway, yeah, I'm covered in sawdust. I'm covered in main glitter tonight. Measurement on this. I don't want to update right now. This is 8 7/8 by 2.5. 7/8 is 0.7. Let's see, 0.125 is 0.775. So 1/8, I don't know. So I have to draw that. Height is 2.5. Width is 8.5. 3/4 would be 0.75 plus 0.125. 0.875. There we go. I should know that. All right, and this customer wanted it to say. Scrolls only, I believe that's what they wanted. Check that. Use your phone or do you have a camera? No, I just use my phone. And it lasts about 3 hours or so. If I plug in, I do have a battery pack. If I plug that in, it works good. The microphone is supposed to have a pass-through for, I'm sorry. Yeah, the dongle for the microphone is supposed to have a pass-through for charging, but it's like a fake USB-C port. Anyway, I couldn't get a USB-C to fit in there, so, you know, be warned buying cheap crap off of Amazon. But if I could get it, and I'm going to order another one and see if that has a better port on it, and then I can run the mic and have a battery pack and last longer, although I don't ever see why I do a live for more than about 3 hours. But yeah, for now I just use my phone. Eventually I will get a camera, a GoPro, but I just haven't looked into that because I don't need it right now, and my phone works just fine. That's how most people start out anyway. So orders here, squirrels only. That's what they wanted. Hopefully I'm not doxing anybody. I did want to show orders for this year, all this year. So far this year, just over $1,000. Not too bad. But based off of, that's a net profit. So total sales for this year is $2,000. So fees and shipping and everything else takes half of that. Man, that's a lot. But it is what it is. guys for a second. I know I can pull it up by. Oh, where is it? Orders, maybe? No, that's not it. Stats this year. Do my Kubb sets. Oh, there we go. Revenue, $1,583. So I've had 16 orders on these Kubb sets, and the hanger boxes I'm making, I've had 4 orders of those. It's $115. But man, these Kubb sets, almost $1,600 in Kubb sets. That's pretty awesome. And a lot of that, it should be higher. I had them listed pretty cheap to begin with. Yeah, you just got to find the right product, and I mean, I've 6 months. Yeah, that's good. You know, you just gotta. I've been doing Etsy. I've had an Etsy shop for like 6 or 7 years now, and one thing that sold really well. I don't know if I can go to all time. Yep, I can go all time. So I used to make custom signs. Yeah. So almost the same amount in signs. 27 orders of $1,600 worth of sign. So these were 6 foot tall. I used a 1x10 or 1x12, and I did it on my CNC. And usually as a welcome sign, but I did lots of custom orders that would have like a state outline on there or some kind of symbol or something. I did a lot of those. Those were big sellers. Let's see here. So my Kubb has only just barely gotten above that. Laser engraved spoons, that was a big one. Growth charts, those were a big seller for a while. I built a custom jig for that to make those. I could do it on the CNC now, probably easier, but it took so long to make those. Some plaques that I've done, and then nothing. So the CNC hasn't really paid for itself. Well, I guess it has. I mean, I've done lots of orders off of Etsy, but the laser definitely has. I've done so much offline that that's definitely paid for itself. And speaking of laser, let's finish this up. So take these, those, cool. Let's change this font. Script font, which I want to be brush script. That'll look good. Okay, center those again. So then you put a different. Actually make that an offset fill. Speed 100, 125, 30. Okay. That here. The best. I'm not going to clean off the laser right now. I'll do that tomorrow. At least have that file ready to go. Should have seen the guy wants a custom shelf for a javelina skull. I don't know what that is. The shape of Arizona. Yeah. Be careful what you wish for. I'll tell you that. Hold on. Be right back. Ow. So I'll tell you a little story about the CNC. So right now, I've got this bad boy, which, hey, is a horizontal surface, so it collects dust and things. That's what it does. But I started out with a MP CNC, a mostly printed CNC. It's this 3D printed CNC, and kind of learned how to use the CNC from that. It was a great. I bought it used off of Facebook Marketplace. I spent maybe $100 on it. It was actually probably less than that. I actually don't remember what I paid for it. That was many, many moons ago. But learn the ins and outs of a CNC. It's not a good machine, but it's a good starter machine. Once I really started getting into making some signs, some custom signs, I said, you know what, I need to upgrade. So I did a ton of research, and I found Shapeoko, which they make an amazing machine for a hobbyist, for someone who's not going to be doing a ton of production work, but going to be doing fairly regular work. A great machine. And what I really love about it, besides the actual machine itself, which is really good quality, is the customer service is you can't top it. They still believe the customer is always right. They believe that customer service is top priority, and I absolutely love this company. So when I got this machine, it came in 3 or 4 very large boxes. I had to build it myself. It came with very, very good instructions, but it was missing a couple of bolts. Actually, the bolts that right here that go through the rails, through this standoff right here. I think it was 2 that it was missing. So I contacted the company after I put everything together and I had everything loose, and I went back through the boxes, missing these 2 bolts. I contacted the company, their customer service, and they next day aired me the bolts I was missing, plus a couple extras just in case. I was like, cool, I love that. So I was up and running within 2 days of receiving the machine. And then later on, they have a policy that within a year, I think it's a year, within a year, it doesn't matter if you screw it up or it's their craftsmanship on the machine. They don't care. They're gonna fix it. They're gonna make it right. So the spoil board, I had laid some green wood on top of the spoil board. I let it sit there for a couple weeks anyway, and it caused the spoil board, the MDF, to mold. I was like, oh, son of a bitch. Really, really upset with that. So I contacted the company. I said, hey, I need 2 of your spoil board pieces. Can I buy 2? They said, no, we only sell a set. I'm like, oof. Well, I explained to them what happened. I said, it's my fault. I'm beyond my 1 year, whatever. They actually next day aired me a full set of spoil boards. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. It was absolutely, I mean, I just couldn't believe it. I don't try to take advantage of people that have good customer service like that. And I haven't contacted the company again since then because I haven't had any issues, but top notch. And it's a nice rigid machine. I did a ton of research on it. It's not cheap. This machine probably cost me $2,000 at the time. Now they're a little bit less expensive, and they have a newer version. They've got a 4 and they've got a 5. This is the Shapeoko Pro 3 XXL. I wanted something that was big enough that could do just what I think I needed it to do. The newer machines are even more rigid. They have better parts to them, lead screws instead of belts. Lots of upgrades, and definitely worth the money. But if you can get a Shapeoko 3, especially a Shapeoko Pro, And you can get that off of Facebook Marketplace. Maybe someone locally is selling one because they either don't know how to use it, or they've upgraded, or they're just done with CNC. Definitely look into it. Shapeoko, amazing company. Love their equipment. So with this machine, I can cut. I think it's 33 by 33 by about 2.5 inches. Is kind of my working space. Now, the 33-inch length, or depth, if you want to think of it that way, is really infinite because you can tile it. And one thing I learned, like doing my signs, is I would set the file so it would do 30 inches worth of letters, and then I'd set myself a mark, and I would tell the machine to stop at a mark, not cut, and then I would actually, no, I'm sorry, I would measure to that mark. So let's say I would do 30 inches of letters, and I'd set a mark from the end of the board to 32 inches. So I'd draw a pencil mark at 32 inches, and then I'd make that my new 0, and I'd just shift everything down, and then do the next set to the next 32, and so on and so forth. So I'm only limited by the amount of space I have behind the machine or in front of the machine, and moving a workpiece in that axis there, in that, y-axis. Yeah, I've done signs that were 8 feet long. I think that's what I did with 8 feet was my biggest one. Yeah, 8 feet long for sure. So anyway, just clamping it down. The hardest part about doing anything like that is making sure that you've got your clamp set up, that you're moving it along that axis in a straight line and it's not at an angle. Otherwise you'll screw everything up and things won't line up. It just takes a little practice, and there's tricks to that. But I figured it all out, I've worked it out, and I made it repeatable. Matter of fact, I've got a project I've got to do soon. It's a retirement gift for somebody. I'll probably do a live on that, or at least I'll do a video on that. It'll be a smaller piece, but here's one I do. Man, lots of sawdust. This is, I've done several $100s worth of this. This was a design I came up with. This is the Coast Guard version, but I've done a lot of Navy versions. But that's what Chief said. I gave my first one away. But that's in cedar. You know, that's the kind of thing you can do with this. The most expensive part is the bits, honestly, after the machine. Yeah, so anyway, I highly recommend Shapeoko. Onefinity is another really popular one. I didn't like theirs because of some of the rigidity testing. I watched some videos on that, but a lot of people swear by that. Yeah, I'm not sponsored, but I love Shapeoko stuff. Swear by them. As well as with my laser, I've got Omtech, or OMTech, I think it's Omtech. It's a Chinese company, but I've had good luck with this machine. I did a ton of research on it. For the price, it was worth it. There's other machines out there that do the same thing for about the same price point, but their customer service has been good to me. Other people have issues with it, but I haven't. So yeah, if you ever want to get into CNC, hey man, let me know. I will help you out, or I will point you in the right direction to people that can help you out. Ooh, it's basically dry. I think I'm going to try to drill that hole. Do that right here. While I've got it here. Because why not? Oh, you have an X tool? Yes, the X tool is the reason I didn't go with X tool was because isn't that the one where you have to be online to use it? Where are my other bits? Oh, where are they? Son of a bitch! These things. What my hand sandwich? Your problem is the computer part. What's the problem with the computer part? You don't have a good computer, or what? How did I do with these bits? I bet they're in my car. That's right. This bit's gonna work. It's gonna work. Oh, computer savvy? Dude. If you can run the X tool, you can run a CNC. It doesn't take much. See if that actually worked. Or dowel I've got. Haha, it worked. It was the right size. Sweet. Not perfectly dry, but I've got a pumpkin. Sweet. I got like more than one project almost done tonight. Does all the laser stuff. Ha! I got you. Yeah, the hardest part with the CNC. So actually, I'll show you. Why not? So let me pull up the software for that. There's lots of different software you can use. I know with the Shapeoko, they've got their own software called Carbide Motion. That's what runs the CNC. They also have, I think it's called Carbide Create, which is like their 3D software for it. But one thing I did was I purchased where is it? VCarve. So Vectric is a company that makes CNC software. Actually, let me pull up. That's what you said. That's my dolphins. Ah, fuck. I'll pull that up. So right here, I've got my. Do I have that? What do I do? Shoot, I don't know what I do with that piece. I used to have this carving somewhere. Oh, there it is, right there. So my warfare insignia. I did a 3D scan of mine from the Navy. I think that's what this is, a 3D scan. But anyway, this comes from this file right here. So this software right here allows me to input a file. I can purchase the file or create a file. And then go ahead and do the carves. So preview the toolpaths here. So right there I can take a look and see what it's going to look like before I carve it out of whatever material. Pretty awesome software. Anyway, this stuff is not cheap. It's $800 for the software. And within that version that you purchase, you get unlimited upgrades until they do the new version of it. But then to upgrade to it is only a couple $100. I've done it a couple times now. I haven't done it yet because I'm going to upgrade to their top tier software, which is, I don't know, $1,000 or so. And what I like about Vectric is that if you start with their lower tier software, you can upgrade to whatever tiers you want by just paying the difference of what you've already paid for. So if I want to upgrade to their $1,000 software and what I've paid for is $600, I just have to pay a $400 difference. They don't make you repurchase new software, which is pretty awesome. Oh yeah, copy the pumpkin, please. Please, absolutely. I want you to. I want as many people as possible to go ahead and do this and then put their own spin on it and then make it even better. Yeah, please do. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm happy with the way it came out. Of course, going forward, I'll make some changes to it to make it a more efficient process or whatever. But it's not too shabby the way it is. I'll take some pictures of that tomorrow. Put it up on my Etsy, put it on Facebook, and see how it goes. See if I can sell one or two of these. I haven't got any hits on the Apple yet, I don't think. Back to stats. Stats. I don't want all time. I want the last 30 days. Let's see if anybody's even clicked on this Apple yet. I don't think so. I've had two people click on the Apple. But that's fine. I need to probably do some work on how I market that. But yeah, that works. Wow, I've been going for almost 2 hours. It's 10:30 my time. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night for tonight. I got more done than I thought I was going to get done. Got my Kubb set ready to go. I got that last piece ready to go on the laser. I got the pumpkin painted and almost done. I'm going to be back tomorrow. I'm going to set up a live here in a minute. I'm going to shoot for about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I just got to look at what kind of work I got to get done around the house before then. But hey Keith, thanks for hanging out, man. You're my #1 viewer, and I love hanging out with you. And again, if you got any questions about CNC, if you want to see me do a CNC project, let me know. I could do a retirement gift for somebody, so maybe I'll do that as a live, kind of like a start to finish my process, and I can show you how the CNC works. You know, or anything else, just let me know. And when you get that channel going, please let me know. I will definitely subscribe, and I will spread the word as best as I can. I don't have a lot of followers, but I've got a couple, and every bit counts. And once you hit that 50, you can do lives. It's a ton of fun. I love doing it. And yeah, I will catch you next time, man. Cool. Appreciate it, man. And I will see you next time. Thank you very much.